serious.
When you look at the farm I was hunting, you can quickly tell that there's a good mix of everything, with a diverse balance between agricultural fields, food plots, and several thick bedding areas. On the farm I hunt, we did the opposite of Phil. Phil put in warm season grasses, taking out the ag fields, and I took 30-year-old CRP and took it out and put it in corn. Having said that, my hunt took place in the northern section of the farm. This is a pinch point that a large percentage of the deer will funnel through before going back to bed. Joe hung a stand in here last year and shot a deer out of it. It seems to be about 80 yards off for a bow hunt, but perfect for a rifle.
Ready? Jason and Ryan sat most of the morning with nothing happening till almost early afternoon, and that's when everything came together. But you know, they were planning on movement much earlier, but during the rut, you can't plan on anything because unlike the pre-rut or the early season, now bucks are actually chasing does hard and they're fending off other bucks. All kinds of stuff is going on. So you know, like they say, during the rut, anything can happen.
Even though Jason hoped to see more deer movement in the morning, he knew it was only a matter of time until he get his eyes on a big one in that section of the farm. His patience paid off on the all-day sit for the second year in a row when a buck he called Dink showed up, and he blew up from last year.
If I had to pick a single element that allowed me to harvest the dink, it would be the all-day set. I know I'm crazy, and trust me, it takes every stitch of my patience to stick it out at times, but I feel that sitting all day is my best option when I'm able to use a rifle during the rut, and I know there's a big deer in the area. I mean, come on, what more can you ask for in November? I love Missouri.
As for partner Phil, not surprisingly, his story started and ended relatively close to the same fashion.
I'm with Jason. I love Missouri for a lot of reasons. In my opinion, it's a state that thrives in tradition, and our politicians strongly support and replenish our natural resources, as well as promote our outdoor recreations too. That's partly why I chose to buy my farm 10 years ago. We began managing for quality whitetails and turkey back then, but it wasn't until 5 years ago that we substantially improved the habitat while sustaining the same level of income each year.
Much like I did with my farm across the river, Phil took his tillable acreage and dedicated a percentage of it to a warm season grass program that's provided by FSA, leaving the balance for food plots that would attract the greatest number of animals and be the most effective wind-wise.
Once the food plot locations were chosen, Phil teamed up with a wildlife biologist to lay out a sound 10-year management plan. In the past 5 seasons, the entire area has become an absolute zoo. They've killed some true monsters on that piece, and I think it's safe to say that they're going to continue to do so in the future.
My plan of attack was to be able to see the most amount of area that my rifle could reach. Since it was the rut, I knew I had to be somewhere near timber and be willing to stick it out past lunch if I wanted to move location. The buck that I killed came from the north and slowly walked southbound. This was a textbook hunt, sitting within a bottleneck and a safe wind. Then all I had to do was wait for him to step into one of my shooting lanes so I could poke one through with my rifle. This hunt is a great example of how a farm that holds mostly tillable acres can be effective during certain times of the year. Next season we plan to leave some standing crops and Whitetail Institute green plots on this piece, which should give the deer everything they need throughout the year. In short, it will attract more deer and hold them through the winter.
You know, it's important to allow every buck to reach maturity so it could be everything it could possibly be. But the reality is that not every buck is going to be a monster. Today, the Eastern Missouri team have taken 2 great mature bucks that are simply part of their management plans. Stay tuned. After the break, we've got a couple great properties we'd love to share with you.